I love you, Benji.
Pain nearly tore my mind, but if you ask, I'ma always say I'm more than fine. And yo, I'm trying to be the hardest if we're talking rhymes. Could talk for days and weeks and every pillar was prescribed. SSR rise, trying to balance out a borderline. Check your close ones, cause I never really saw the signs. Way back when I wasn't even stepping solo. Had my close friends, we weren't even repping postcodes. The love stayed strong, we kept it certain like the goalpost. Every single day, posted with my bros, but times changing, yo, I had to start isolating, had to separate and really deal with all of my frustration. It's kinda crazy, man, I never saw no signs of aging, man. Resilient, the way it kept me going, quite amazing. And if you see me, man, I'm always slider stepping. Niggas know Swiss, he never steps with any weapons, but I know a couple wingers get it rapid like Lennon. One quarter get the bullet bending like Beckham, but beef is beef, and yo, I'm feeling vegetarian. And if it's feeling fishy, big fish, I'm pescatarian. Them niggas stay fake, so my friends I stay aware, but them snakes stay hissing. Stay like I ain't heard of them. Look, ain't never been the type to rob them other niggas. Rather stack my change, save my bands for something bigger. I ain't never been the type to start touching up them triggers. Hood's how, but I'll be damned to die a fucking sinner. Listen, I'm Swiss sweeter than a saint. I weren't robbing niggas, I weren't trying to lick a stain. I was shouting hard for you to put that food up on my plate. Seeing the kitties banging all the food up in their veins, but real rap's dying cause people don't relate. My dad left me spoonless, there was no time to play. So you get it how you got it, packed up and knowing quay. This lifestyle's a nightmare from cuffs to early greys, but most these niggas spitting fiction, niggas spitting lies. They ain't never thrown up conch by no county lines. Never seen it, now the what doing with the rhymes. Cause I kept my eyes on the prize, guess it's no surprise. Call my mommy raised a soldier, bare open wounds cause I ain't never got no Trojan, man. It's more to why I'm burning on the weed and never sober. Never crumble cause that pain it only made me colder. Listen, Swiss, I might have to redo. Alright, so everyone, my name's Swiss. I go by ST Swiss on Insta, storytelling Swiss, and as well. But yeah, I'm Swiss.
What do you do?
I'm a rapper, and yeah, I'm a rapper. I love writing, rapping, just yeah, I've just loved it since about September. I've always loved music. I've always had a passion for music, but I've loved writing and rapping since about September. Yeah, I loved it.
So what happened in September that made you want to start rapping?
I used to go around in cars every day. I wasn't really in Brum. I moved out of Brum, and I used to go around in cars every day, all day. And I had my phones, and I could play my games. I could do whatever. I could listen to my music. I could do whatever I wanted on my phones, and I had all the data I wanted to do, pretty much whatever I wanted to do. But it wasn't enough for me. Like it was just boring. And in my head, when I was going around, I had these little lines in my head, like I would just keep going over, and then I would see different stuff and I'd say, all right, cool, it's a tree, it's a bird. And I'd just start rhyming different stuff. And it was crazy. Like, I remember my first couple of lines actually. I started writing music in the T. At first I described what I could see from, I can't say the next couple of words, but from something taken to squirrels in the tree. This music is my therapy for what it done to me. And it was crazy because I knew my music was my therapy before I even started it. Like, those are just the lines that just came to me first. And yeah, that was it. I just loved it since then. Like, I just turned it into something else, and I started putting it out. And yeah, people are loving it, so I'm just going to keep going.
When you say music therapy, what do you mean?
Music is my therapy, as I've had a lot of bad experiences in my life. Like, there are a lot of bad experiences. But with music, it did help me figure out a lot of my emotions, what was going on. It helped me forgive some people that did me wrong just with music. Like, I was just writing stuff down, starting to understand other people before I even understood myself. And it helped me go back to my childhood and what happened with me and certain stuff with my brother and the family. Like, it made me more understanding of people as a whole. So then, yeah, I used it to just get better, more positivity, everything. It's crazy.
You know, when you music, you talk about mental health, can you shed some more light on that?
Yeah, last year I got diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, depression and anxiety. So I was on some medication for a while. I was on SSRIs, which are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. And with that, I was on them for a couple of months. Like, I had quite a different bunch of meds. I was on SSRIs, PRNs, benzodiazepines to help me sleep. I was on a bunch of different meds, but they were making me worse in the end. Like after a couple of months, like I was always writing stuff in my diary. I wasn't a diary writer, so when I was looking back on my diary and looking back on the stuff, like I seen how bad my mental health was, and once I seen it, I stopped taking my medication. Like I just stopped. Like my mom told me, hey, you need to get back on the meds because you're gonna get worse. But that means I just had a point to prove at that point. Like I knew I could get better without the meds, but it was just how to do it. So then, yeah, that's when the writing came in as well. Like I love the writing. The writing helped me figure out my mental health issues. It helped me figure out different stuff, and I put my energy that I had, like all the bad energy I had, into something good. Like I just went through a mental breakdown. I went through a bunch of different stuff, and I went to, right, cool, let me just put all this energy into something else, and that's what I did. I put it into the music. I just loved it since then.
So how else did you cope with mental illness?
There's been quite a lot since like childhood. Like with the passing of my nan, that definitely brought a lot of stuff on. My nan was the closest person I had because I felt neglected in my childhood. So my nan was the closest person I had. Like I was always with my nan every single day. Like straight from after school, I go straight to my nan's, and yeah, I was always with her. And then when she passed, that was it, man. Like I just lost it. Like I was crying for days, like weeks, and then I was just crying, and that was it. I just didn't want to eat, didn't want to sleep, didn't want to do nothing. I was just crying. And then eventually got better. I didn't get better after the week, so I was still crying. But after a couple of years, it did get better. Like it still hurts to this day, but it doesn't hurt as much. Definitely not. Like it's more of a peaceful thing now. Like I just look back and think, yeah, she's looking down on me and everything, so I know I'm doing good. But yeah, that just brought a lot of stuff on from childhood, and then there was a bunch of attempted suicides. I had about 3. I had 2 in year 7, but they weren't serious, and then I had 1 in year 9. And the 1 in year 9 was more serious. I was in hospital for 4 days. That was an overdose. And yeah, since then it was just a bunch of downhill stuff. I ended up homeless a couple of years ago. That was for about 6 weeks. But I never did want to sleep in the streets. Like I did sleep in some places that were worse than the streets, but I never did want to sleep in the streets. Like I was lucky not to, but at the same time I wasn't lucky. Like I did see a lot of stuff. I seen a lot of stabbings. I seen a lot of violence. I seen a lot happen. And some of that stuff it still comes up, but it's just one of them ones. Like I've seen a lot of stabbing since then. I've seen a lot of stabbing since then, but it just doesn't touch me anymore. I'm more insensitive to that stuff now. But yeah, it's just been crazy since then. Like everything's just been going wild. But I found myself now, and
Music.
yeah, through music, and even with quarantine, like a lot of people seen it as a curse, but I've seen it as a blessing. Like I've come back, moved back into Brum a couple of months ago. It was in about January, and then from then, a couple of months later, the quarantine happened. I started figuring myself out. I started figuring in my head. I started writing more music. I started doing everything. Like it was more of a blessing, and I found myself now. It's crazy. I can see a future. It's amazing.
So would you say a lot of your experiences make up your content in your rap?
Yeah, definitely. Like it's always just come straight from what I've seen. Like I just put a beat on, and that's it. Once I found a freestyle, and that's it. I'm freestyling, find my flow, and that's it. I get to writing, and then once I start writing, it just comes straight, like what I've seen, what's happened, what I felt, everything that's gone on, and yeah, I just love it. Like it's my therapy. Like it's helped me figure out a lot. It's just crazy what it's done for me. It's crazy.
So what would you tell them? What advice would you give to people who also suffer from mental illness or are currently suffering from mental illness?
I would say that 10% is better than 0%. I know everyone's going to have their bad days. Everyone has bad days. But on those bad days, if you don't want to shower, you don't want to eat, you don't want to do whatever, if you get out of bed and you just literally just grab a slice of toast, or you just grab a bread, or you just grab anything, an apple, you know at 10% you can say you've eaten. Or if you don't want to shower, you can just go straight into the bathroom, wash your face, do whatever, and you can say, alright, at least I've done this today. And you can feel better about that because 10% is better than nothing. Like, just make an effort on those bad days. Even when you don't want to make an effort, just make that little 10% of an effort. It's better than nothing. And definitely to keep going too. Definitely to keep going. Like, there'll be days when you look back and you'll say, yo, I'm so thankful I'm here. Like, you will say, I'm so thankful I'm here after. Like, it's crazy. I can look back and definitely say I'm thankful I'm here. All the blessings and curses I've had, it's made me who I am today, and I'm really thankful for that. Thankful for that.
So what's your view on like the things going on in the world right now, like the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's the light has been shone on police brutality for years. Like, this is nothing new. Like, the sad thing to think about is that racism is the best it's been right now in history for black people, and that's a weird sentence to say because it's now being filmed. Yeah, it's now being filmed. Like, in the right now today, they're killing us and it's getting filmed and everything's getting gone on. But back in the day, there was segregation, there was lynchings, there was Jim Crow laws, there was everything. And slavery especially, like people were brutally killed. And there's a Belgium, his name's Leopold I, I believe. His name's Leopold I, and he's responsible for the killing of at least 10 to 15 million Congolese people. Like, there was a Congolese massacre. Congolese massacre, and they just killed them all, like brutally cut their hands off, raped them, tortured them, did everything. Like, and that's one of the lesser known things talked about because people would rather talk about Hitler, what Hitler did, and how the Axis powers and everything went against him, how everyone went against him. But there's a lot that isn't shone a light on, like all the stuff that's happened in black history, because they'd rather shove it under the carpet. So with today, yeah, Will Smith even said racism isn't getting better, it's getting filmed. Like, it isn't getting worse, it's getting filmed. Like, it's just, people are actually seeing now what's happening, and black people are now saying, yo, we just can't stand for it anymore. Like, in the past, it's happened, it's gone on for a couple of months, and that's it, everyone's lost interest. But for now, everyone's actually taken an interest. I think quarantine actually had a lot to do with it now, because people are more indoors, they're seeing stuff on their phone, seeing stuff on TV. Like, America is absolutely crazy right now. It's absolutely crazy. Like, the amount of racism and the amount of people that are being hung over there right now and everything, it's disgusting. And one even sadder case to think about is Breonna Taylor, who was an EMT. She was a first responder. And the police executed a warrant on the wrong address. It was the house next door, but they executed it on Breonna's address. And they've barged through the door, and you know what I'm saying, they've gone through, and her boyfriend has come out and he started shooting because he thought he was getting a home invasion, like he thought he was getting burgled or something. So then they've now gone in, they've shot Breonna Taylor 8 times and they've killed her. And she was an EMT first responder. She was literally just, that's it, she was just there. And she got killed for no reason because they even did it on the wrong address. Like, it was I think they did it on a drug warrant, and they did it on the wrong house, and their boyfriend got charged with the murder. And that's just injustice, man. Like, it's disgusting to think about what's happening right now. It's disgusting to think about what's happening right now. But at least people are now seeing it. They're seeing it for what it is. And there's even a lot of white people that are seeing it for what it is. And it's happy to think about. Like, it's happy to see that right now people are seeing it. They want change. They want this. They want that. And it's about time. Like, it's not people against white people. It's not people against anyone. It's just everyone against racism at the end of the day. Like, we just can't stand for injustice anymore. It's because we can't stand for it.
You know, these case studies that you're mentioning, how they happen in America. You think it happens down here in Britain too?
Definitely. There's a lot of police brutality that we don't hear about over here. Like, people getting beat up and everything. People getting killed in custody. People getting sexually assaulted in custody. It's just disgusting to think about. And obviously, even as a case of the 2011 riots, obviously that was the case of Mark Duggan, who got wrongfully killed. Like, it was just disgusting. Like, it's disgusting to think about even what happens over in here in Britain. But now people are seeing it. They want change. Like, there's protests, and it's amazing to see everyone's coming together to do it. Like, and it's sad to think about, because now that people are seeing it, it's like, I don't know, it's just really sad to think about that. Now that people are seeing it, it's just, the police, they're not owning up to it. They're not coming out and saying, all right, cool, we've done this. We need to serve justice as we are the upkeepers of justice. It's like they're above the law at this point. But that needs to change. Like, people need to see it for what it is, and that's what's happening. So police need to get the justice they deserve. People need to get the justice they deserve.
So on that note, you're talking about how we learn about Hitler and the Axis. Are you being critical of education in the UK?
Definitely. Like,
What's your views on the education system?
Definitely. Like, if more people were taught about black history, what goes on in the UK, what's happened, and why we are in the positions we are in today. Like, I used to think, all right, black people are the reason why we are, like, we do whatever. But that's not the case at all. Like, systemic racism exists. Like, that's why people are more likely, black people are more likely to be all in a crowd. Like, if you was to see it in different areas, like if you think about the Zouds, think about Newtown, you think about Answorth, think about different places, it's just a bunch of black and ethnic minorities. That's it. You only find them in specific places. Whereas,
Sutton Coldfield.
yeah, it's certain, but a place like Sutton Coldfield, it's mainly white people. Like, the systemic racism exists, and like, black people are at a disadvantage at this point. Like, they are at a disadvantage. Like, we're 40 times more likely to be stopped and searched, everything like that. We're more likely to be incarcerated because of different stuff. It's just disgusting to think about. And it's about time that people are taught black history, what goes on. We're not taught about different stuff in Birmingham, about why the Johnsons and the Burger Bar boys originally came together. Why it was originally created to fight white supremacy in Birmingham, and once the white supremacists got rid of, the Yardies came over, and then once the Yardies came over, they got rid of them, and then that's when they split up. Like, it was originally created to battle white supremacy, and I wish more people knew that. If we came together and we battled the one big problem, we could all live peacefully, and that would be it. We wouldn't have to live in fear. A man doesn't have to think about, oh man, he's going to stab me for no reason, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Like, if we're taught more stuff about our history, we can definitely change the future. We can definitely change the future, no doubt about it.
What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is, I would say it's losing my mum, to be fair. I'd say it's losing my mum. Like, I've loved her to bits. Like, she's always been there for me since I was a kid. It's not always been great, but she's always been there at least. And yeah, I'd say my greatest fear is losing her. If I was to lose her, man, I don't know what I'd do. I think I'd lose myself. Like, it's crazy, but no, I'm happy she's here, so I don't have nothing to fear yet. Well, yeah.
How do you think you're going to give back? How do you think you can give back? Man, tell your family, like everyone in the community. Do I think you have a talent?
Yeah, with giving back, I can definitely raise awareness on different mental health stuff. Like, I've got a bunch of different raps coming. Like, I'm just waiting to go to the studio, make a couple of videos, and I see everything's dropping.
Come on, man.
I see everything's dropping. Like, there's a bunch of different stuff. I got a bunch of different stories. I got everything ready. I'm waiting for everyone. But once I get it into everyone, I can just give it straight back. People can understand. People can say, oh, okay, I don't need to think about this. I don't need to think about that. I can live this. Like, it's just experiences that I've learned from, and that's made me a better person today, that I can give back to, like, to the community, to people, to learn about different stuff, to keep going with the way they're doing, just do everything.
So what would you say, how do we change? You know how you're talking about changing, like, because the protests are mainly happening in the big ones happening in America, how do you think we can change Birmingham?
I think we can change Birmingham by, with the people that was the protesters. Like, the protesters are amazing. Like, it was great. They went out there, they made their march, like, they made their moves. And at this point, it kind of seems sad because it seems like the government are ignoring it. But if we keep doing it, they're gonna have to take a stand at some point. Like, they're gonna have to do something about it. Like, we just can't keep lying down. We can't just keep doing this, keep doing that, let it go on. Like, if we make a change today, and tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, there'll be change for the future. There'll always be change for the future. If we keep trying to make change, there'll always be change. We just can't give up. We just cannot give up at all.
Or is that your message to the youth?
Definitely. My message actually to the youth is just focus on you. Like, focus on you. Don't be worried about anyone else. Don't be worried about this. Don't be worried about that. Don't be thinking, oh man, if I don't have these £200 Jordans or £300 Jordans, oh man, I'm dead. Worry about you. Worry about what you want. Like, don't just think about what you want other people think you want. Like, it's just focus on you. Do whatever you want for you. Live for you at the end of the day. That's my message for the youth.
Really show them when you're rapping that?
Yeah, definitely. Let's go. How loud do you want it?
You got it, alright.
Look, ST Swiss, follow up the socials, ST Swiss _ Instagram, everything. Look, my niggas dish food, and now they're in the cells, same time. I got family in the ground, from young, my knowledge has been hella profound. I got taught to be heard, but I never made a sound, so I started listening to everything I could. There was hella noise in the hood, from loud packs to loud niggas, it was kinda good. I didn't have a phone, I was reading hella books. My nanny was alive, I would head straight to hers. Sitting on a settee reading books, I would learn. My mom fed me dictionaries, knew a bunch of words, definitions, facts, adjectives and verbs every day. At my nan's, man, she made me love the world. She adored flowers, colours bright like a bird. Her favourite was chrysanthemums, and she loved nature right down to the worms, but I guess she passed it to me, cause nature's my peace. Sitting in some greenery is perfect for me. Admiring the flowers, the colours, the leaves, looking at it all really brings me relief. She had a table for her 5 grandkids round there. There was never any sadness. Me and my cousins, we weren't on badness, cause nanny kept it straight like matchsticks. We were her favourite, she showed us so much. Keep your nose out is what she always told us. Those are magic words, hocus pocus, and had a brave heart, cause she always was the boldest. Her cornmeal porridge was the nicest. Turning up at nanny's every day was the livest. I never knew happiness like this. Fish out of water, I was feeling like a Pisces. She showed me so much love. My nanny was an angel from above, but I guess she had to fly into the skies like a dove. Ever since she left, it's been so fucking tough. But now, I'm doing this for you. I wanna have a penthouse view. Top of the mountain, sky so blue. Peace and serenity, I want that too. Yo, I'm spitting with a message, I ain't slanging food, it's Swiss.